Jordan.
Kyle.
Corey.
Jeff.
Money. Cold hard cash. Who doesn't like money? Well, you can make a lot of money with sports gambling if you know how to pick the winners over the losers. I've placed thousands of wagers over the last decade, and I enjoy watching sports, and gambling has become a big hobby of mine. I feel like gambling makes a boring game entertaining and a great game even more exciting. In my personal experience, it doesn't matter whether you wager $1 or $100. The rush is still there. You can bet your friend 50 cents and you could win, and you crack open the soda and, oh man, this is the best soda I ever had. You know, it's more of a pride, type of thing. After this speech, the basic ins and outs of gambling. Today we'll go over the several different types of wagers that can be placed, the goal of the bookie, and the actual dangers of gambling. I want to take a look and see the different types of wagers that can be placed. Straight bets. Favorite carry a minus sign to show how much needs to be laid in order to win $100. It'll be minus 250 or minus 500 because they're favored to win. They're predicted to win the game. It's not like when you bet your friend it's 20 to win 20. The bookies aren't stupid. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to lay 250 to win 100. And the same thing with the underdogs. They're predicted to lose. So if you lay 100, you can win 250. And the underdogs are annotated by a plus sign, plus 250. That means if you wager 100, you'll win 250. If you wager $1, you win $2.50. That can be looked up at sbrforum.com as far as wagering. Playing big favorites to win is very dangerous because you could lose $500 just trying to win 100. They're favored to win, so you got to play the big bucks just to win a little. Another type of wager is the spread betting. The license sets the spread with the favorites giving points to make the game fair. If you take the Green Bay Packers, the reigning world champions, against one of the worst teams in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, guess what? You're going to have to take the Green Bay Packers minus 7 or minus 14 points or something like that. It's not going to make it that easy. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you like the Colts, they'll gift you 7 or 14 points because the Colts are obviously going to lose by a bunch of points. That can be looked at up on coverage.com. It's common for half points to be used. This ensures that no pushes or no ties happen, because when a push or a tie happen, your money's refunded back to you, and the bookie has to pay for overhead. It's wasted your time, it's wasted their time. So football games, a lot of them are won by 3, 7, or 10 points, 14 points. So the line will be plus 3.5, plus 10.5, plus 14.5. That half point guarantees there's no ties. Another way to gamble is live betting. As opposed to placing money on the match before it happens, you can place it live while the game's happening, and the actual odds fluctuate up and down depending on who has the ball, the score, what position they are on the field. Odds continuously fluctuate, and you can watch this at bet365.com. This is very lucrative because you can bet on the better team when they're down. Before the game, they were minus 250. They were supposed to win. But if you wait till the better team gives up a touchdown, they're down 0-7, you can actually get them at even odds, or you can get them at plus 250 if they go down even farther. Because most of the time the good team does come back. It's common to see lines at plus 50,000 with a few seconds left. Right here, my visual aid, I'll pass that around. You can see DC United was playing Chicago Fire. Everybody knows soccer games can be 0-0 or 0-1. After 90 minutes. Well, DC United scored 1 goal at the 90-minute mark. So everybody thought there's no way in hell Chicago Fire is going to score 2 goals in 1 minute if they didn't score a goal in 89 minutes. But Chicago Fire actually scored 2 goals in less than 60 seconds, and that happened last week actually. And the line actually went up to plus 50,000 if you were on Chicago Fire when they were down 0-1 with 45 seconds left. So this isn't once in a lifetime. It happens all the time. Well, not all the time, but it happens a lot more than you think, and that's the plus 50,000. So we went over what types of wagers can be placed. Now we'll find out the actual goal of the bookie. The goal of the bookie is to get even money on both sides. The bookie isn't psychic. He isn't trying to get everybody on one team because he knows that teams will win. Nobody knows that. Nothing's guaranteed. His actual goal is to get even money on both sides, because when you wager on a spread, it's your negative 110, your negative 110. What that means is you're betting $110 to win 100, you're betting $110 to win 100. One of y'all win. Let's say you win. I take his 110, I put 10 in my pocket, and I give you the 100. Now, if there was only 2 customers in the whole world on the bookie site, he'd have to get 1 on each side to guarantee him that 4.55% profit, that $10 out of a 220 wager. But with the sheer amount of wagers going on, the sheer amount of gamblers, he can have he can have 45 on one side and 55% on the other side, 48, 52. He's still going to make a huge profit. So we talked about the different types of wagers you can place, and we talked about the goal of the bookie. Now let's focus on something more important. Let's talk about the dangers of online gambling. 85% of U.S. adults have gambled once in their lifetime. It's no big deal. But about 1% of them are pathological gamblers. That means they've lost a house, wives, kids, families on gambling. All they do is think about just gambling all the time. They're addicted to it. 2 to 3% of them are actually problematic gamblers. That means that they may have gambled the rent or maybe a little bit more than they should have. They have a little bit of problem, but they fluctuate between the pathological and the social gambler. The social gambler is it consists of like 86 to 87%, and what they do is they might gamble, they might place $1 to win millions in the state lottery or something like that, or raffle tickets. Nothing too major, and they have it all under wraps. That can be looked at on myaddiction.com. Another danger is money management problems. As listed on bettingexpert.com, most professionals believe that wagering 1% of your bankroll will keep you out of trouble and keep the hobby entertaining. This makes it possible to place 100 wagers before you need to reload your account. Most people can't stick to that though. They feel untouchable after they win like 3 or 4 bets in a row, after betting $10 and $10, so they go all in on that fourth bet, you know, and they wind up with 0. So you gotta maintain that 1 to 2% bankroll to have more fun. You know, you're not trying to get rich, you're just trying to have fun, make the game more entertaining. So try to stay to 1 to 2% of your bankroll, and that way you're playing smart and you're cashing out. You know, you go bookie, hey, you owe me this much, let me get that money. Instead of actually reloading. From going all in, you lose one match, you lose everything, and you have to go to bookie and deposit. Now that you know the different types of wagers that can be placed and the goal of the bookie and the dangers of online gambling, let's review. You should now know the ins and outs of gambling a little bit better. First, I explained the different types of wagers. You have the spread, you have the straight, and you have the live betting. I've explained the goal of the bookies is to get even money on both sides and scrape the 4.55% from the middle. And finally, I explained the dangers of online gambling as far as addiction and money management. So we're in England where gambling is legal. We all understand the ins and outs of gambling a little bit better. You can feel free to place any bets you have now. Who knows? You might just win.